An evolutionary psychologist spent months studying the behavior of more than 500 prostitutes. He was not interested in morality. He did not want to judge the profession or write an ethical debate. Geoffrey Miller wanted to answer a question most men never stop to ask. What really controls female desire? What he discovered should make uncomfortable any man who still believes attraction is created by effort, kindness, or good intentions alone. The study was published in 2007 in the journal Evolution and Human Behavior, and the data was clear. Miller and his team at the University of New Mexico analyzed 5,300 work shifts and found a harsh pattern. During the fertile phase of their cycle, these women earned an average of $335 per shift. Outside that window, the number dropped to 260. Women who were on hormonal birth control showed no change at all. The money did not change because of techniques, appearance, or friendliness. It changed because of something invisible, something neither the women nor the clients could consciously explain. Most men hear this and immediately assume it has nothing to do with their lives. They think it is just lab science, that real women work differently. That is the first mistake. David Buss, one of the world's leading evolutionary psychologists, spent more than 3 decades studying human attraction across 37 different cultures. His conclusion is uncomfortable but consistent. The mechanisms that drive female desire are universal, unconscious, and do not ask for permission. You are being evaluated constantly by criteria no one ever taught you. And until you understand those criteria, you will keep losing to men who may not be better than you, but who naturally send the right signals without even knowing why. This video is not about blaming women. It is not about portraying men as victims. It is about revealing the rules of a game you are already playing, whether you like it or not. The truth is simple. As long as you believe attraction depends on what you say, the gifts you give, or how hard you try to please, you will stay in the dark. Female desire does not respond to logic. It responds to signals, evolutionary signals, biological signals, signals your body sends before you ever open your mouth. And today, you will learn what those signals are. Chapter 1. The hidden cycle that controls female attraction. Have you ever met a woman, felt the connection building, felt everything flowing naturally, and then suddenly, without warning, she cooled off? She stopped responding with the same energy. Messages took longer. She became distant, without explanation. And you replayed every conversation in your head, trying to figure out what you said wrong or what you did wrong. The answer may be simpler and more disturbing than you expect. Maybe you did nothing wrong. Maybe you showed up at the wrong biological window. Geoffrey Miller's research revealed something most men never learn. Female desire is not constant. It fluctuates. It follows a biological rhythm that operates independently of conscious choice. During the fertile phase of the menstrual cycle, the female brain becomes highly sensitive to specific markers of masculinity. Testosterone, facial symmetry, social dominance, deep voice, strong posture. She does not choose to be attracted to these traits. Her limbic system, the most primitive part of the brain, makes that decision before conscious thought ever enters the picture. A 2004 study published in Proceedings of the Royal Society, B, confirmed this pattern. Women in their fertile phase showed a strong preference for more masculine faces and deeper voices. Outside that phase, preferences shifted. Softer traits became more attractive, less aggressive faces, more moderate voices. The same man can trigger intense desire one week and complete indifference the next, not because he changed, but because her biological filter did. This information destroys a common illusion many men carry. The belief that if he does everything right, if he is attentive enough, generous enough, interesting enough, attraction will remain stable. It will not. Female attraction is cyclical by nature. The man who does not understand this lives on an emotional roller coaster he cannot control. When she pulls away, he panics. When she shows interest, he clings, afraid to lose it. This reactive pattern is exactly what kills attraction over time. What separates the man who is discarded from the man who is remembered is not intensity. It is consistency. A high-value man does not adjust his energy based on her emotional temperature. He does not inflate when she is warm or collapse when she is distant. He stays grounded, centered, and steady, because he understands that her fluctuation is not about his worth. It is about biology. And when her window of receptivity opens again, and it always does, he is still standing as the same presence that sparked the attraction in the first place. Reactive men beg for attention. Consistent men command respect. And respect, over time, turns into desire. Chapter 2. What she is really looking for without knowing it. Before you say a single word, she is already evaluating you. Not because of what you wear, not because of the car you drive, not because of the watch on your wrist. She is reading signals you don't even know you are sending. The angle of your shoulders, the steadiness of your eyes, the rhythm of your breathing, how quickly you look away when she holds eye contact. The body speaks a language the conscious mind does not control. And her body listens to that language before any conversation begins. The most common mistake men make is not talking too much or too little. It is transmitting need. When you enter an interaction seeking approval, when every word you choose is filtered through how she might react, when you adjust your behavior to avoid displeasing her, your entire body changes. Your shoulders subtly roll forward. Your voice rises at the end of sentences, turning statements into requests. Your eyes break contact first. You don't notice it, but she does, unconsciously. Her limbic system records these signals as indicators of low status in the social hierarchy. And attraction does not flow downward in a hierarchy. It flows upward. David Buss documented in research across 37 countries that women, regardless of culture, religion, or social class, prioritize the same male traits: the ability to acquire resources, the willingness to invest, and indicators of strong genetics. But the most important discovery is not what they look for. It is how they evaluate. They do not evaluate based on what you say you have. They evaluate based on what you demonstrate you are. A 2016 study conducted at the University of Texas revealed that women can detect variations in male testosterone levels through scent alone, without seeing the face, without hearing the voice, only through body odor. This means you are being judged through sensory channels you didn't even know existed. This explains why some men seem to have an invisible advantage. They are not necessarily more handsome. They are not necessarily richer. But they emit something other men do not: a presence, an energy, a quiet certainty that they do not need to prove anything. This energy cannot be faked. It cannot be performed. It emerges from a real internal structure, from a man who has a purpose beyond chasing women, who has his own life, who does not place his value in female validation. The paradox few understand is this: women do not want men who make them an absolute priority from the very beginning. They want to earn that position. A classic experiment conducted by Dutton and Aaron in 1974, known as the Suspension Bridge Study, showed that women felt more attraction toward men they met in situations of uncertainty and adrenaline. The accelerated heartbeat caused by the situation was unconsciously interpreted as attraction toward the man. The conclusion is uncomfortable for men taught to be gentlemen from the first second. Too much comfort kills attraction. Predictability kills attraction. She needs to feel that she has not fully won you yet, that you are territory to be explored, not a trophy already secured. The adjustment that changes results begins with a simple question before any interaction. Am I seeking something from her, or am I offering my presence? The difference between these two postures changes everything. The man who seeks operates from scarcity. He needs something he does not have. The man who offers operates from abundance. He is sharing something he already possesses. Women are biologically calibrated to detect this difference within seconds. And this distinction determines whether you are seen as an option or as a prize. Everything you've heard so far is only the surface. There are deeper layers of female behavior that most men will never access. Attraction patterns that operate at the level of instinct. Psychological triggers that awaken desire before reason has any chance to interfere. Chapter 3. The truth no one has the courage to say. Rejection is not your greatest enemy. What you tell yourself after it is. Every time a woman loses interest, a conversation dies, or an opportunity slips away, the male mind goes into protection mode. She didn't deserve me. Women only want rich guys. The problem is, I'm too nice. These narratives work like anesthesia. They ease the pain in the moment. But each time you repeat them, you build an invisible prison. A prison where you are always the victim and never responsible, where circumstances are always unfair and you never have to change. The truth few men are willing to face is simple. If you are consistently ignored, rejected, or placed in the friend category, there is a pattern within you causing it. It is not bad luck. It is not feminism. It is not modern women. It is a set of signals you repeatedly emit that communicate low value in the sexual marketplace. This is not a moral judgment. It is a strategic diagnosis. And until you accept that diagnosis, you will keep searching for external enemies while your results remain the same. During the fertile period, they were earning more. They did not know they were earning more. They were not using different techniques. They were not trying harder. What changed was something operating below conscious awareness. Pheromones, microfacial expressions, body energy. And the clients responded to these signals by paying more, without being able to explain why. The transfer to your life is direct. Attraction is not about conscious performance. It is not about memorizing lines. It is not about following scripts. It is about what you emit when you are not trying. And that only changes when your internal structure changes. A study published in 2013 in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology revealed a finding that should change how you think about attraction. Researchers found that the most decisive factor in initial attraction was not physical appearance, financial status, or displayed intelligence. It was the emotional state one person was able to create in the other. You can have every attribute on paper and still bore her. You can have fewer objective resources and make her feel alive. What you awaken in her matters more than what you possess. And what you awaken in her is a direct reflection of what you carry inside yourself. Think about the man she chases. He is not constantly available. He does not reply to messages within seconds, as if waiting for his phone to vibrate. He does not cancel commitments to fit her into his schedule. He does not declare feelings before receiving clear signs of reciprocity. He shows interest without showing desperation. He makes her feel special when they are together, without begging for attention when they are apart. This man is not playing games. He genuinely has a life that does not revolve around her. And that reality shows itself in every interaction, every message, every meeting. The difference between him and the man who is ignored is not the level of interest. It is the demonstration of self-worth. It is the quiet certainty that he would be fine with or without her. The exercise that will begin to reprogram your posture is simple, but it requires brutal honesty. In your next interaction with a woman, observe yourself like a scientist observing an experiment. Do not try to impress. Do not try to perform. Just notice your posture in that moment. Is your voice steady, or does it rise at the end of sentences? Are you holding eye contact or looking away first? Are you reacting to her mood or maintaining your own emotional center? This self-awareness exercise is the first step out of the autopilot that has been sabotaging your results without you realizing it, because you cannot change what you cannot see. And most men spend their entire lives blind to their own patterns. Conclusion. The game you didn't know you were playing. Geoffrey Miller did not study 500 prostitutes to shock academia. He studied them because he knew that in that environment, stripped of romance and illusion, the real forces of attraction would be exposed in their rawest form. And what he found confirms what the men most successful with women have always known intuitively. Female desire is not a rational choice. It is a biological response to specific signals. Signals you are emitting right now, whether you are aware of them or not. Carl Jung once wrote that until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. That sentence carries the weight of everything said here. As long as you do not understand the patterns you are emitting, You will keep blaming your failures on luck, timing, or the wrong type of woman. You will keep believing that one day, things will magically change, that the right woman will appear, and like you, just the way you are. This is the most comfortable lie a man can tell himself, and it is also the most destructive. The reality is that you are in a market, a sexual market, where value is communicated through subtle signals most men were never taught to control. Your body posture when you enter a room, the tone of your voice when you speak to her, the speed at which you reply to messages, how easily you abandon your own plans. Each of these details is being recorded by her evaluation system, not consciously, but relentlessly. And the sum of these signals determines which category you are placed in, a man of value, or just another one in line. The knowledge you gain today is worthless if it remains only information. Information without application is entertainment. You can watch 100 videos about attraction, read 20 books on female psychology, and still fall back into the same patterns the next time a beautiful woman crosses your path. The difference between the man who watches and the man who transforms is deliberate action after insight. It is the decision to observe yourself honestly, to identify behaviors that communicate need, and to replace them with a presence that communicates value. You made it to the end. That alone places you in a different category. Most quit halfway. Most prefer the comfort of ignorance over the discomfort of truth. But knowing the rules is not the same as mastering the game. Information is available. What you do with it defines who you become.